Welcome to the Honest Truth Podcast, where I allow everyone to speak their truth. What's poppin', you guys? It's your girl, Kelly Sweet, and welcome back to the Honest Truth Podcast. Today, I have a special guest. I'm super excited, by the name of Jon Keith. So give it up. This is going to be such a fun episode. Welcome to... I'm like, you looking at the wrong camera. Your camera right there.
Right there? Put that away. Stop.
Welcome to the Honest Truth Podcast. How do you feel?
I feel good. You know what I'm saying? It was a trafficy drive, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I'm like, you came all the way from San Diego.
Dago.
Give the people a backstory on how we even know each other. Because I feel like it's been years where people are like,
you're right.
What's really going on
I feel like the last time we've done anything together was when you still had a YouTube channel shooting content off your phone. Yeah. Which is crazy. So unfortunately for her, I'm Kelly Sweet's cousin. Fortunately for me, unfortunately for her. You know, we used to... some of y'all who have been around for ever have probably seen me before on like a lot of the earlier, like probably two of the earlier videos, something like that. Yeah.
Today we got a lot to unpack. Okay, like you just have so much cool stuff going on, and
wow,
we gonna have to unpack it. Okay.
Wow.
But first and foremost, y'all know it's crazy. We actually have babies that are a month apart.
They're 2 months apart.
2 months apart.
2 months.
They were supposed to be a month apart.
They were supposed to be a month apart, but my boy was like, I'm chilling. He's like, I ain't coming out.
How you enjoying being a pop?
Man, I actually didn't start feeling like a father until like a month ago.
Why you say that?
Well, he was born, and then, I mean, when he was a month old, I went on tour. Like I left.
Yeah.
I went to go, pick up milk at the grocery store. I just ain't come back. No, that's terrible. I went on tour, and he had all this growth and all that, without me. And so when I came back from tour, I was gone for like a month.
So how much time did you spend before you left?
Well, it was a thing. So, Jordan was like hospitalized right after the birth. Yeah, we getting dark immediately. So she, there was some complications and there was stuff going on, and so she was hospitalized, and so we actually were like separated from him for like the first. Well, no, we had like the first like 3-4 days with him, and then she was hospitalized for 3 days, so we didn't see him for like 3 days.
That was rough. I'm like, that's when the family be standing up.
Yeah. My parents really stepped in. You know what I'm saying? Like my mom is a gangster, so she was like, I'll
shout out Auntie.
Yeah. And so we were separated from him for a little bit, and then I was there, and then but a month after he was born, I had to leave. I was going on tour, and so. Yeah, it was rough. And so when I got back, that could have been anybody's baby. You know what I'm saying? Like
literally he called me and was like, my baby don't know me. I'm like, your baby knows you. Your baby knows your voice because the baby heard your voice the whole 9 months.
Yeah, but when I got back, this nigga was looking at me like, and he's like, I thought that tall lady was my dad. I don't understand what this dude is doing. I was like, I was that dude that lives with his mom.
You were up until like a month ago. In your head, that's who you were.
And me and his. I will say this. I felt the disconnect. I personally think he felt the disconnect. Jordan doesn't really think so. I think he felt the disconnect. But recently, like, I mean, that's my guy. We're locked in. You know what I'm saying? I rock with him heavy. That sounds so crazy to say about your son. Yeah, I rock with him heavy, bro. Like, that's my dude. He reached out, like, he's still young. He's 4 months. So it's like, he's learning new stuff. As a matter of fact, this morning, I swear, this morning, you're going to think I'm crazy because he's 4 months. He said, mama.
You're lying.
He said, "Mama," very clear right after Jordan said it.
Oh my gosh.
She was like, "Can you say mama?" He said, "Mama." I was
That's iconic. Because I'm like, my baby ain't even said that yet.
Yeah, I was like, "Yo, say father." No, but so, but so the other day he like reached out for me for the first time. Like his hands are kind of just always up, but
Yeah.
I realized he was reaching out for me because he was doing this, and I walked, and his hands were following me where I was going, and I was like, "Oh, you rock with me."
Yeah,
Okay.
it's all been in your head.
Nah.
We got to start this episode off with like some icebreakers just to like, warm us up. What is your creative process like when you're writing your material, and how do you stay motivated? 'Cause it's hard out here for some of us.
Yeah. My creative process is,
Breaking the set.
breaking the set. I don't know. It kind of always looks different. I was gonna make a joke, and I decided to not do that. I'm just gonna give you a straight answer. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. It always looks different for me. You know what I'm saying. It's never just like, oh, this is like the formula for me. You know what I'm saying. Creating music. Mm-hmm. It's like sometimes I start with an idea. Sometimes I'll start writing lyrics before there's any music. Sometimes.
But do you plan it out though? Is it like this day I'm gonna get in the booth, or is it like this is just on my heart? I'm gonna just hop in. Like it's kind of like just vibes.
It's very difficult for me to go. All right, I think it's probably been a year since I was like, all right, tomorrow I'm getting in the booth and I will have music by the end of tomorrow. Like that really happens, and which is funny because when I say that, you would probably assume that I work kind of slow, and that's also not true. I work extremely fast. It's just not calculated. You know what I'm saying? So like, I started off this year with no music because I dropped the album last year and I like emptied the clip with everything. You know what I'm saying?
So you don't have nothing just sitting in the pot, like.
Well, no, I do now. I
Okay.
started off this year with no music, and now I have like I'm picking through. It's like 20 songs that I'm like picking through and trying to decide what's what. And there's also been multiple months this year where I have not been able to get in the booth. So like it'll be like bursts of creativity. You know what I'm saying? So like February. Yeah, February was just like knocking out hella records. And then March I was on tour the whole month, so I did no music at all. April I did nothing. May I knocked out like 3 more. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
like in little bursts.
Yeah, it's like little bursts of creativity, and so yeah. And I feel like staying motivated is
How do you stay motivated?
I feel like people around me have to kind of keep me motivated because I'm creatively like bipolar. You know what I'm saying? So like there'll be like a week where I'm like, nigga, I am the greatest gift that has ever been given to mankind. Like I'll feel like that.
No, I'm laughing because I be feeling like that too.
Yeah,
so I get it.
And then there's it's like a day later I'll be like, I think it's time to wrap it up. I'm washed up. I don't like legitimately. Last week I was talking to Jordan and I was like, maybe I should just go to seminary and be a pastor.
I'm like, that ain't nothing but the enemy trying to stop me.
Like maybe I should just stop this, bro, because it's tough. It's tough, especially
It
when
does
like
get hard, though.
For someone like me, who I love the music and the creation of the music and the writing and all of that. And I'm not gifted in the marketing side of it. I don't like doing that. I hate it. And the day that we live in now, the part that I love is the least important part. There are people with, I gotta, honest truth. Okay. There's people with terrible music.
Yeah. But they got
god
that
awful
marketing
music,
team behind
but
them.
their marketing is great.
Yeah,
They know how to put captions that'll make you stop and look and all that kind of stuff. And you know what I'm saying? And that's what's going to get the attention. And it's like that. There's like no creativity that went into the musical side of it.
Yeah.
You're very creative with the marketing. The music, that's buns, it's cakes.
So are you taking on all of that work. Like you're taking on your marketing, you're taking on your creative ideas when you're dropping your music videos. Like you're just your entire creative team.
Yeah.
Wow. Do people
It's a
know
doozy.
that?
Huh?
Do people know that?
Some people do. I don't really care for people to know it, I guess.
I think it's cool because honestly, if I'm coming from an audience standpoint, like a lot of people look at rappers and artists and it looks like, because of how good your work comes out, it looks like you have a team.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of have a team now. You know what I'm saying? It's been, but I mean, still up until now, everything that's come out has just been the product of me.
That's dope.
And not saying like there's no collaboration. Yes, I collaborate with people who are amazing videographers, amazing producers, but there's never anything that's just handed to me.
Yeah.
Hey, now do this.
Yeah.
Everything comes from either me or me collaborating with somebody, me going, hey, I want this. Can you make this happen?
You got a new track coming out. What's your favorite bar on that?
Oh, okay.
And name the track.
So I have a new song. It's called God's Hand featuring Torty Sean. Out now everywhere, huh?
Stream it, download it, play it for your mama and your baby.
Yeah, so it's called God's Hand. It's kind of about like just trusting God, you know, in general. And there's a bar on there. There's two different bars. One I love because it's like a reminder for me. It says, I don't get what I want sometimes, but I'm still on my knees. Loved ones peace out sometimes, but love and peace ain't leaving. It might be a drought, but it don't mean it ain't my season. I'm God's child, I'm beaming. That's
right.
That's like a reminder for me for, you know what I'm saying? Like just multiple different, you know?
You're on the frequency of like following your passion and your purpose. It's like, it's always going to be that up and down journey.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, and so even how you were speaking about wanting to give up and stuff like that, we laughing about it, but it's literally, that's a part of the journey because God gives you like a purpose and he's like, here you go out into the world. I'm not really going to tell you what to do or how to do it, but I gave you the gift and now you got to make it happen. And so when you're actively trying to make it happen, like he never said, oh, you're going to get to the end goal like tomorrow. It's like, woo.
Yeah.
Roller coaster.
Absolutely. Yeah. So it's that one. And then there's another one that says, it says, God can't get no clearer, but you weirdos want to get weirder. I show love and I don't even like him, but he sees God when he looks in the mirror, because it talks about how I really do not like some of these niggas like at all. But you know, they're made in the image of God. And so I have to love and respect people, you know, even when some of you are like weirdos.
Yeah. And that's a fact. That's a fact. Okay, we just about to really jump into this.
Let's get it.
What I'll say is I love Christian rap, you know, like I love to bounce between like that gospel, and then when I'm like, oh, I need to feel hype for the Lord, I'm gonna put on some Christian rap. So I wouldn't say I'm super tuned into like just kind of the relationship aspect of it, like different rappers, like if y'all are cool or what's really going on. But one thing I can say, like from the outside looking in, it always interests me how I feel like there is a bit of division with some of the rappers. Yeah. And how do I word this? It just always confused me because I'm like, you know, we're all supposed to be, you know, we're following the same Christ. Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, why is it so divided? Like, what do you think causes that division?
Well, I think it's a number of things. For one, I mean, if you look at the church is divided. You know what I'm saying? I think that a lot of times Christian music is just going to be a reflection of wherever the church is at. But yeah, I mean, there's so many different there's different kinds of so like there's people like me, right, who I make music about everyday life and how God fits into that in my life, so it can be a help for people who live everyday life, aka everybody. And so, you know what I'm saying? Like that's what I do. And so like it's sometimes we'll incorporate like you said, like hype music and like high energy stuff, but it's also like battles with depression and like sometimes it's just love songs. Sometimes it's like fighting with God. Like actually, you know, I got a song I dropped earlier this year called Liar, and it's about how I'm like, yo, like God, my relationship is not the same with you, because there's some times in my life where I feel like I feel like you don't talk to me how you used to talk to me. I feel like, you know, I know that I changed and I know that you're not supposed to, but it feels like you did. You know what I'm saying? And that's not true. That's not a fact that God has changed, but like I'm expressing my feelings about, you know what I'm saying, my relationship with him. So like that's how I approach the music. There's another sect of Christian rap that'll be like, you know, every song you're getting the gospel. And if you're not doing that, then you need to repent.
Your take on how you go about it, I feel like that's so authentic and so real, because I feel like we all go through those battles. Like, you know, we're not going to be perfect.
And of course, and there's nothing wrong with that either.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like my homies who are, and mind you, I actually would say the majority of Christian rappers approach it the way that I do.
Yeah, they do.
You know, and then there also are Christian rappers that are like, you're getting the gospel in every song, and they have the stance of like, that's what I do, and then they also respect the things that I do. You know what I'm saying? It's like they do their thing and they respect the thing that I do. And then you have the other side where it's like, you know, gospel every song, if you're not doing that, then you're in sin. And then there's another side of Christian rappers that are the people that are just like weirdos who don't even really understand Jesus or the Bible or Christianity at all. And they're the equivalent of the people that stand on the corners that say with signs that's like, you know, you're going to hell, and these people are going to hell, and if you support this, you're going to hell. They're the equivalent of that, because that's all they do in their music. And they have like managed to take all of the invitations that Jesus gives us in the scriptures, and they take all of those invitations and they turn them into weapons to take shots at groups of only specific certain groups of people,
or try to make people feel convicted.
Not convicted, condemned.
Yeah, that's the word.
Because you know what I'm saying? Because the spirit convicts.
Right.
The enemy accuses.
Trying to make people feel condemned.
And that's what they do. And it's like, oh, well, you gotta call out sin, and and it's like, brother, no. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, that's not the way this goes. That's why that's the point of like there being like church communities and all that. I'm not going to try and call out the sin of somebody that I don't know. I've never, you know what I'm saying? From a personal standpoint of being like, hey, you're in sin, you need to go repent. Like I don't have a voice in that person's life.
Right.
They've already heard from 1,000 people that what they're doing is wrong. Like that's not I'm not going to be the one that convinces them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like Jesus sat with people. He ate with people. He listened to people.
And let's be real, Jesus sat with all kinds
of people.
Like
people that
the ones we judge the most.
Jesus sat with people that I would be uncomfortable to sit with today, right now. And he's perfection and holiness, and I'm me. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like,
and we are far from perfect.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I'm
all
like, come on. So you know, this thought process of like, yo, my only purpose on this planet is to, you know, make sure people know that they're in sin. It's like that's not even. the message of Jesus.
I think it could possibly come from image, right? Because when you are representing something, and it could be anything, it doesn't even have to just be us talking about being a representation for God. Like, one thing I have been noticing with this generation is like, you have to keep up with a certain image and not wanting to show any flaws, or not wanting, like this perfection image, because it fits with the narrative of what you represent. Do you think that could play with it a little bit?
To be honest, I think it's largely caught up in politics. I think that, like, there's still like this version of Christianity only here in America that like is like tied in with like, patriotism, or like, and it's deeply embedded in like, racism and all of this, all of this stuff. And it's largely like, and I really don't be getting, I stay the hell out of politics. I really do.
Yeah, me too.
You know what I'm saying? And
me too. Far
but
from.
like, these people are like, oh, God is American. Like that's how they wouldn't say that, but that's how they approach this. They're like, oh, if you don't vote, you're not a Christian. If you don't vote this way, you're not a Christian. And it's like the top priorities is just trying to call out who they think is Christian and not Christian. And it's like, bro, go and follow Jesus for once. Try that.
Yeah.
Give that a shot.
And focus on
see if your music gets better by that too, because the music's bad. It's bad. It's bad music. It's not good. Like, artistically and sonically, it's bad music, and your views are triv. This is crazy.
Yeah, you can't be all three in one.
You can't be all three.
Choose one. At least like battle.
You got either make good music with bad views, or make bad music with good views. You can't. Come on, bruh.
Choose one lane.
You got to get it together.
So how do you deal with all of that? Because I feel like there's a lot of young guys that like look up to y'all, and they might like you, but they also might like this other person. And so like the youth to see the division, it's like, how are you, one, maintaining being a leader within all of that?
Yeah.
And how are you reacting when attacks come at you?
I say I'm not good at it. I
feel like we have conversations, but publicly, I think you handle things pretty well, no?
Right.
Did I miss something?
No. You didn't miss anything, but okay. You didn't like catch the 40 conversations of people backing me off a ledge. I mean, you know me, you know that like I tend to be well, let's get it. That is my entire demeanor. Let's do it then.
Well, that's why I'm proud of you, because I'm like, seems like you've been doing pretty good to me.
Yeah, you're like, man, he grew.
Yeah.
No. I got people going, listen.
He got chained
don't do
down.
this. Yes. I got like at least 5 people going, please think about the kids. It's like, and so, you know what I'm saying? I've had multiple like diss tracks come my way. And I will not sit here and say I didn't write tracks. I'm not going to say I did not write songs. I will say I didn't drop them, because people were like, hey, don't do it. Please don't do it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so, and the other thing is like, my wife has a big voice in what comes out of my platform. And so
I love that.
A lot of times if she's like, yeah, absolutely. If she's like, absolutely not. I'm like, I know
that's right, Jordan.
Yeah, I ain't pushed back. Well, I pushed back, but I haven't gone against it yet. You know what I'm saying?
I think it just boils down to what's really worth it.
Yeah,
because then it takes away like from like the real reason why you're doing this.
Absolutely,
it's like we're not doing this to be Drake and Kendrick.
And the thing is this though. But the thing is this. The thing that a lot of people miss is, the majority of, and I will say this is actually the difference between like me and my friends versus like some of those people we're talking about. Me and my friends really actually love the art and the sport of hip hop. Whereas some of these other people are just like, this works, and so I'll use this.
Yeah.
Like, I love hip hop, and I love the art of hip hop, and I really love the sport of hip hop because I'm very competitive.
And it shows, because y'all, like, even when y'all all get together, like, all of you guys have your different creative way of spitting what y'all want to spit. And it just shows how passionate y'all are actually, you know.
Yeah. You know, I be competitive. So like when somebody come out with a diss record, you know what I'm saying? Like, no matter how bad the song is, because they're bad. There hasn't been a good one yet, but like I still have that. I'll play it for you. I still have that part of me that goes, you could devour this person and you should do it. You know what I'm saying? And it's like because I love the sport of hip hop, but you know, yeah, it's a struggle. Cause you know, the difference is like with what Drake and Kendrick just did.
That was
shout out Dot the GOAT.
Oh wait, who you think won?
K. Kendrick Lamar, the king of the I almost said of the West Coast. I'm sorry, of hip hop.
I feel like, first of all, love them both. Can I just say?
Yeah.
Love them both. So I feel like both of them won in different ways. Kendrick won artistically. Drake won with facts.
Did Drake win with facts?
I feel like majority of the stuff that he mentioned, you could actually research and it's public knowledge. Versus what Kendrick said, it's like we can't find out whether it's the truth or not. So,
and here's why I'll say that Kendrick won overall.
Okay.
This is why I think Kendrick won overall. You ready for this? And mind you, I'm a fan of both of them.
Me too.
My top three, and people say I'm not allowed to do this, eat butt. I don't care. Look, my top three is Kendrick, Drake, and Cole. The big three is my big three. You feel me? Except it goes Kendrick, Cole, Drake.
Okay.
Even though for some reason Drake is often my top listened to artist on Spotify.
I listen to him a lot.
Yeah. But you know what I'm saying? Like that, so that's it for me, right? The reason I say that Dot won overall is because all of Kendrick's responses came out after Drake's. And Kendrick, who has a smaller platform, who has smaller numbers, squashed Drake's numbers. Drake. We're talking about Drake. Drake.
Yeah.
You feel me? Drake, one of the biggest, not just rappers, pop stars in the world. Drake, who done broke how many like music records at this point?
Yeah, I guess I didn't really think of it.
So
like
that
yeah.
On also on the side of like public, because here's the thing, even what you said of like, you know, you can go and research the stuff about Kendrick. I didn't know that. I'm hearing that for the first time from you. I thought it was all hearsay, but this is the crazy part. You can research the stuff
and
about
not
Kendrick.
all the stuff, just a few. But
You can research some of the stuff about Kendrick, yet everybody on social media is just singing about how Drake he likes him young.
But you know what though? And honestly could be true, but I feel like once you get to a certain level of fame, people just start to hate you. Like you get so big and because I'm like, what is there really to not like about Drake? Like, let's be for real. What did the man do?
I'm gonna get you. I got you. Don't
I need the comeback answers.
But here's the thing. I was just talking about this with my homie the other day. Like people go to. I was talking with my homie and he's like, "Yo, Drake lost when it started because nobody wants Drake to win." You feel like that?
Yes.
Okay.
Literally.
Now here's the funny part. How could that possibly be true when Drake easily has more fans, easily has more people that he can come to Kendrick City and sell out arenas back-to-back nights, 2, 3, 4 nights.
Great point, though. What you're saying, I'm definitely hearing you out.
And
Chris and I have had this debate back and forth.
Yeah.
And honestly,
because you also got to look at the other situations Drake has had beefs with. Drake beefs with Meek Mill, and everyone was like, yeah, Meek got destroyed. It was a wrap. We was singing back to back all summer. We was singing all summer 16. We was hype off. If that was the case, if it was like, well, we just never want to see Drake win, that wouldn't have been a landslide. We wouldn't have been like, oh yeah, we would have been like, nah, but Meek did his thing. Nobody was saying that. When Drake beefed with Pusha T and he dropped W Freestyle, they was like, oh, he's eating them all. Pause. But he was going crazy. And then Push dropped the news. He got a kid, and then it got overshadowed. But he didn't out-rap Drake. Drake had him. To me, I still to this day, I would not say Drake lost that battle.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And lastly, when Drake is beefing with Kanye West, everyone's like,
oh yeah.
Like we want to champion Drake. The simple fact is that Kendrick is Kendrick.
Yeah.
And he draked Drake.
He definitely ate. He definitely ate.
He draked
But
Drake.
I will say they equally ate.
No, I will also
Like,
say
I
every
feel
single
like-
record Drake dropped was unbelievable.
Both of them, and one thing I will say, I think Kendrick really believed he couldn't keep up, and I will say Drake definitely kept up. Like the stuff he was dropping,
Drake's rapping kept up.
Yeah.
His strategy did not keep up.
Yeah, I know.
That's where it's
I feel like
Drake underestimated him, and also Drake was worried about the wrong things. He was worried about the wrong things. Why are you dissing Ja Morant?
Yeah.
Why are you dissing The Weeknd?
I don't know why
and
we're
Rick
going
Ross?
down that route.
Get it together. If you was focused on the task at hand, maybe it would have been a different outcome. He was worried about the wrong things.
Yeah. What I will say though, to wrap this conversation up.
I'm sorry, I be getting lost on this. We've been arguing about this for a month.
I'm still in the middle with this. Maybe we can debate a little bit more later so you can here's the thing. I watched a little short documentary on how their beef began because I was truly confused. Okay.
Yeah. Really? You didn't know?
I was truly confused. I had no idea that.
How?
I had no idea.
That's crazy.
I just been living my life for the past years. Like, yeah, they went on tour together, besties. Like I had no idea.
Wow, you didn't know at all. You didn't know that they've been sneak dissing for 10 years.
No, but one thing I
It's been a
did
Cold
find
War.
out with watching that documentary is that I feel like Drake was very direct from joint if he ever had an issue. And I feel like every time it was brought up to Kendrick, according to the documentary, maybe it wasn't factual from what I seen, it seemed like he would deny, like, what? No, I wasn't dissing. And it's like, nigga, you was dissing. Like, just say you was dissing. Like, he was just never direct. He was direct with it through the songs, but then when it was time to talk about it, he wasn't. And then even Drake had mentioned within that, like, that Kendrick had dissed him one time, and then he seen him at an event, and he was like, oh, what's up, bro? Like, on some, and he was like, which one is it? Like, in other words, stick to what it is.
Yeah. And here's the only reason I push back on that. I actually, from the beginning, from the moment the control verse dropped, I did what he did was not a diss to me. And here's why I back that up.
Control verse?
The control verse, yeah.
Oh, okay.
He says, I'm usually homeboys with the same niggas I'm rhyming with, but this is hip hop and these niggas should know what time it is. And that goes for Jermaine Cole and just he named J. Cole, ASAP, Drake, he named Pusha T, he named Wale, he named Mac Miller, he named Tyler the Creator, he named all of these people. And you know who had a problem with it?
Drake.
Just Drake.
Well, because here's the real tea, though. You can't put ASAP and Drake in the same category. You can't put Wale and Drake in the same category.
You can put J. Cole and Drake in the same category.
He mentioned Cole.
He said Jermaine Cole first.
Well, I feel like
that was the first name.
I feel like that is disrespect to them too.
And then
like,
he also
how you
says,
gonna put them in the same category as artists?
They're rappers. He was naming the people. He's like, here's all the people. Because here's the craziest part about this to me. He named all the people he has respect for and said, I got love for you all, but I'm trying to murder you niggas. Like he's what is competition? What is competition? I'm trying to raise the bar high. Who trying to jump and get it? Like he's talking about the sport of hip hop. So you have Drake who's mad because he was mentioned. Then you have other niggas mad because he didn't mention them. Nah, I got you. I'll change your mind later.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm in the middle, but I was getting there. You were definitely winning me over.
Yeah, I got you. I've attacked this too many different ways with too many people. I can't lose this argument. All right, but go ahead. Let's see the question. It'll take some time. It'll take the rest of the time of the podcast, but I change your mind.
Yeah, it definitely would. We got like 10 minutes left, huh? What is some advice that you would give to somebody that's just trying to hop into the Christian media world, whether that's whatever lane?
Whatever lane, man. The Christian media world. First of all, I want to ask, why you want to? No, I'm playing. Yeah, I mean, I would say figure out your why. First of all, like for what? You know, like why? What are you trying to like for what? For what? You know what I'm saying? Like I know a lot of people was like, yo, people will DM me, yo, I'm starting a Christian brand, starting a Christian clothing brand. I want to send you some clothes. And I look and I'm like, these are all the same messages that's on the extremely successful Christian clothing brands.
Yeah.
These clothing brands want to send me stuff for free. Why would I? Why? Mm-hmm. And that's no disrespect to them. I want people to actually sit and and ask why. Mm-hmm. You know. So if you're trying to do Christian rap and it's like, okay, well, what makes you different as a Christian rapper? And they say, oh, well, I'm doing this for the Lord. And I say, yeah, well, so is KB and Lecrae and Hovey and No Big Deal and me. And it's like all of these, what makes you different from them? Mm-hmm. What makes you different from other Christian clothing brands? What makes you different from other Christian TikTokers? Or are you just another voice screaming in the void? I would say that. I would also say find mentorship and leadership and try and keep from preaching unless you're, I mean, to be honest, unless you know all the way what you're talking about. I know a lot of people, like, they get saved and they're on fire for the Lord, and I think it's beautiful, but then their thought process is, I gotta run and teach people some stuff.
Yeah, it's so important to study, and like to really study before you.
Yeah, we have this conversation all the time about how little American Christians actually know. Not all American Christians, obviously I'm making a generalization, but like, how little Western Christians actually know about this book that we say our entire life is based on.
Because I mean, obviously I do influencing all that, but like one thing I do is I represent Jesus, but I try not to like tell people what to do because I don't know everything myself.
Yeah.
Like
you talk about your life, and you even will talk about your relationship with Jesus.
Yeah,
but you don't.
I can't
teach
tell nobody
people
nothing.
What to do. Exactly. So talk about your relationship with God. You know what I'm saying? Talk about your life.
Your experiences can be an example for somebody else. That's something that I learned.
Yes.
Like me and how I live and what I've gone through, me just telling that, and if it matches kind of maybe what you're going through, you might be able to take away something from my story. And that's how I like do ministry personally.
Yeah.
I'm tapped in, but I know that there's so much more that I need to know and I need to learn. And I think it's important because you don't want to steer somebody in the wrong direction, but you also don't want to be so judgmental that you push people away. Yeah.
The problem is everybody wants to be Paul, and instead of that, you need to be the lame man that got healed in the gospel where Jesus said, pick up your mat and walk. Mm-hmm. Because that person said when they're questioning him, they're like, oh, who is this Jesus? And they're asking him these questions. He said, look, all I know is that I was one way and now I'm different. Mm-hmm. I used to be like this and he changed me. Mm-hmm. That's who you need to be. Mm-hmm. Stop trying to be Paul.
Yeah.
You
that's a word.
You ain't got
there.
the bars like that, bro. Like we don't. You know what I'm saying? And so that's what I would
really
say.
Good. Yeah. Okay, so what should we be expecting? Aren't you going on tour, Nashville?
I have a festival in Nashville.
Okay.
I am going on tour later this year, but I can't say with who
Okay.
yet.
Ooh.
I don't know if it'll be out by the time this is out, but
Okay.
you know, we have a festival in Nashville, Holy Smoke Fest. You know, it's gonna be dope. Andy Mineo, KB, Indie Tribe, myself, but like 20 other artists. It's fantastic.
So should we be expecting like an EP, another single? I mean, I know you just dropped a single, but like anything else coming?
I mean, I got a lot more music coming this year.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying? I got, it's a lot. I'm hyped.
Fire. Well, this was fun. Thank you so much for coming on. We definitely about to debate some more about that Kendrick and Drake when these cameras go off.
Yes, ma'am.
But make sure y'all follow him, support his music, and in the comments below, let's continue this conversation. Let us know what you guys think of everything we talked about. And yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. We will see you next week. Well, I'll see you. He won't. Bye.